Hello everyone, my name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am just going to get into this one because if I start talking backstory related to getting this album, and listening to this album, it's been a whole story in its own. So, if you're one of my regular viewers, the next episode of Welcome to Windsor is all going to be about the story of how I got to listen to 72 Seasons. Metallica's brand new album. Can you see that all? Oh, hello. It's so big. All right. Now, I'm going to start with the vinyl version. I do have it on compact disc as well, so we're going to talk about that. It was released on cassette as well, because cassette's a thing now. What the hell? I know I make mixtapes, right? All right, so let's go on here. This is the little book insert for the lyrics. I'll show you the inside and the outside. All the lyrics are in there, so that's cool. Alright, now we got Rob on this side. That's an awesome, look, makes him look old. That's an awesome picture. I love the picture here. Same with Lars. Although in this picture here of Lars, he looks like he's out of Rammstein's Sauna video, which is kind of cool. Old Dutchman. All right. Check this out. Can't quite see the marbling through it. This one doesn't have heavy duty marbling. This one's just kind of more of a purple. I believe this is what they're calling the midnight vinyl. I believe that's what my sticker on the front of it said. I kept the little sticker and put it to the side. I don't have it up here with me right now. I do apologize. Gotta carefully put this back in. Now, I don't buy a lot of vinyl, especially new vinyl. The reason why I did buy this vinyl, besides it's cool and pretty, is that Metallica produces their own vinyl. They took a page out of Jack White's book. They bought their own vinyl production facility stuff. They produce their own vinyl, and they produce vinyl for others as well. So, as a great comparison, that is a great picture of Old Man James, man. I really like that they're allowing their age to come through. They're not trying to hide their age. I respect that. And then Old Man Kirk. Now, when it comes to the band, Kirk and I probably have the most in common with going old man with the long hair, because we've both been doing it. And when it comes to my hair, Kirk is kind of, my inspiration on that one, man. If Kirk can let his curly locks go all gray and shit like that, so can I. All right. Oh, my apologies. I didn't show you the pre-vinyl on this one before I put it away. And here we go. Hopefully you can see you can see the marbling in there, definitely. This one's got much more marbling to it. It's really cool. Now, I mentioned Jack White and I mentioned Metallica with the printing shops and whatnot. And one thing that's interesting when you listen to them, and this is one of the reasons why I buy the vinyl and I buy the CD, is with Jack White, you can tell he records analog and then digitizes everything. Metallica goes the opposite. They record digital and then they analog it afterwards. The vinyl is worth picking up. It really is. Do I think it was worth... I think I paid like $45 plus tax? Well, as a collector, yes. As your average listener, well, if you do vinyl over CD, then yeah, still, obviously, pick it up. If you're a compact disc buyer, unless you're an actual diehard Metallica fan, there's no reason to have both. I didn't notice enough of a difference. All right, let's get into the compact disc now. All right. So here's the compact disc. You'll notice it does this little slide. Oh, I didn't show you that part inside here, right? So, inside the vinyl, depending on how you want it to look, it's got the 72 there, and you can have the different band members' faces on the different spots. I had James and Rob going until I showed you guys this, and then it switched over to Kirk and Lars. So, I'm going to put this aside. And to the CD. So, there's James on the front. Now, I really don't. I'm not a fan of sleeves. You know, that's the front of it. That would be the back of it when it comes to the CD. I'm not a fan of sleeves. Because they tend to get beat up pretty bad. But in this case, it's kind of cool because you got, you know, same pictures I already showed you. Oh, and that's the little booklet with the lyrics and that in it. You know, it all opens up nice and like that. You got This Way You Go, Metallica, 72 Seasons. Okay, so at this point, I think we have reasonably covered the artwork. We have reasonably covered what they did for the CD and what they did for the vinyl. Art-wise, production-wise. Production-wise, I do, like, I mean, I don't mind the packaging here, but choice between this packaging and the vinyl setup, I'm going to go with the vinyl setup. Alright, let's get into the music. I'm not going to lie, this album is not Metallica's best album. It's far from their worst, though. This album is unique in a lot of ways because this album, okay, if you are not familiar with it, I caught an interview with, I believe it was James, where he was talking why it's called 72 Seasons. And the reason for 72 Seasons is from the time you were born until the time you reach 18, you go through 72 seasons, 4 seasons a year at 18 years, you know, 72 seasons. That's the name of it. This album, it really has some cool parts to it on a multitude of different levels. One of the things in here being really cool and really kind of interesting is hearing stuff that was on some kind of monster documentary that didn't make the Saint Anger CD. And parts of it are showing up in here now. Temptation, that's what everybody knew it as back then. So it was a really cool riff thing they had going on there that you got to hear. You know, there was a few in there, but Temptation was one of the ones I remember definitely standing out, and everybody always going, wow, I really wish they would have released this. It got worked in finally. And I find a lot of this album, I think, is a lot of that. I think it's a lot of bits and pieces over the years where they went, hey, we could make this work. Let's work on this. While this album was recorded during COVID, it is not a COVID album. I've covered COVID albums already. I've covered a few COVID albums already, and man, COVID albums have not been great to the music industry. Everybody was locked up. They all decided to record shit. No one was actually paying attention, I think, to what they were recording. This album does not fall under that. Is every song on here a hit? No. Am I going to want to listen to every song on here years from now? No. Will I want to listen to this album from back to front still years from now? Yes, and that is important. There are some albums from Metallica I just do not listen to back to front. The Black Album is one of them. I do not listen to the Black Album the whole way through. I do not listen to Lulu the whole way through. I don't listen to Saint Anger the whole way through. Once in a blue moon, maybe, but that's about it. Like, you know, there's probably one or two other ones in there. Justice, I generally don't listen to the whole way through either, unless I'm doing a review for it, which is coming up. That is the next Metallica reviews, actually, and Justice for All. So I've gone on enough about this. I want to talk about the actual songs now. The album opens up with the title track 72 Seasons. This one was released as a video. When it was released as a video, I didn't like it. I'm going to tell you guys right now, oh my God, there is a huge difference between when I was a teenager and even a young adult watching, here in Canada, Much Music. It'd be the equivalent of MTV in the US. And with Much Music coming through my TV, I could run my TV through my stereo and stuff like that. And you got a good, solid sound out of it still. You know, a sound you could use as a comparison for when you went to go buy the album. Not if you were listening through a single mono speaker TV, but if you were set up like I was, you usually ran them through the stereo and you got a better sound that way. But when you're going with YouTube, it kills the highs and the lows. Like your highest highs and your lowest lows, YouTube destroys them. Any of the streaming services does. If you're streaming it and you're playing it through your TV specifically, it's going to kill your highs and your lows unless you got a soundbar. I don't have a soundbar on my TV. I refuse to get one. I'm trying to figure out how to hook up my TV into my stereo. I need to find a way to do that. I really hate that they took that option away from some of these TVs. Good old-fashioned RCA hookups. So, 72 Seasons itself, when I heard it for the first time, and actually I can say that about a couple of the singles that were released. I didn't like 72 Seasons as a single. I thought it was like, really? This is what's coming out? Oh no, I'm not happy. On the album, it's fantastic. I've listened to it, obviously, on the record, and I've listened to it on the CD. I've listened to MP3s on my computer. Most of the time I've listened to this album recently, it's been on my computer. It sounds fantastic, but going through YouTube, it sounds like shit. My personal views and opinions on that one. The next track up, Shadows Follow, is the first song on this album that I just kind of met on a little bit. There aren't many songs on this album I met on. Out of 12 songs, I met on 3. And this is one of the 3 that I met on. It's not a bad song. I enjoy it. Well, it's the typical, I enjoy it while the album's going. If the album's not going, I'm not going to listen to it. Screaming Suicide. I don't like this one. I didn't like the video for this. I like the video. I didn't like the song when I heard it on there, and I don't like the song on here. It is the only song on this album I will flat out say I'm just not a fan of. It reminds me of some of the weaker-ish kind of songs off of Death Magnetic or Beyond Magnetic. And, I mean, both those albums were great. I haven't reviewed them yet. Both those albums were great. I enjoyed both those albums. But they each had, well, especially Death Magnetic had 1 or 2 songs I just kind of wasn't, one or two I went meh, one I went nah. Every Metallica album tends to have at least one song I go meh. And that goes all the way back right to Kill 'Em All. So I'm not being hard on this album. Every album has one song where I go, meh. Sometimes it's one of the most popular songs on the album. For example, when it comes to Master of Puppets album, the one album I go, meh, is Sanitarium. And that is the one that everybody, one of the most popular songs on that, and that's the one I go, meh. So Screaming Suicide is my meh on this album. Not that it's a bad song, it's just, it doesn't appeal to me. Sleepwalk My Life Away follows, or Sleepwalk My Life Away follows that up. And this is the first song on the album where I go, ooh, yeah, really? First off, Rob gets that bass going, man. He gets in that little low-end pocket. He's just kind of doing his thing, man. It's all like, yeah. And then you just hear the guitar start coming in. And, oh, man. This Sleepwalk My Life Away, I really dig this one. Specifically because this is actually a little bit different for Metallica. Just a little bit. Not a lot. I mean, okay, there's a little bit of like every album on this album, or at least a little bit of every album starting at... Like, I can pick out parts in this album that definitely remind me of Justice, parts in this album that definitely remind me of Load or Reload, parts that remind me of Death Magnetic, parts that remind me of Saint Anger, going forward and whatnot. And Hardwired to Self-Destruct is another one that there's parts on here that just totally remind me of. Sleepwalk My Life Away definitely is the one where I kind of go, okay, that's a little reloady. And just not a lot. It's kind of like Reload kind of meets Hardwired. Like there was something in there. It just kind of made me think of both albums at the same time. Really dig on this one though. You Must Burn. You Must Burn is actually kind of interesting. Um, it almost feels like it's supposed to be I don't want to say a follow up, but kind of exist within the same world as Am I Evil? Kind of. I don't know how to describe it better than that lyrically. That is kind of the realm where it belongs. Musically, it's just a really good tune, man. Really dig on You Must Burn. I will say, when it comes to this album, there is one major difference I would have made as far as the track list goes. And this is my only complaint with the track listing. The next track, which was the big first come out single for this album, Lux Eterna, really should have followed Sleepwalk My Life Away instead of You Must Burn. The natural flow of Sleepwalk My Life Away going into Lux Eterna was great, and I actually expect to hear Lux Eterna after Sleepwalk My Life Away while I'm listening to this, and it's not there, and it should be. And it's not even a matter of a playlist issue. It's not like they had to find a way to jam it in, because on the vinyl, it's 3 songs on each side. There's 2 vinyls, 3 songs on each side. Obviously, compact disc doesn't matter. And Lux Eterna is the last track on the second side. So they could have easily switched Lux Eterna and You Must Burn without even trying. I think it would have been the better choice. Lux Eterna, this song has already caught a lot of crap online. And I mean, all these people that claim to be these huge metal fans and this, that, and the other thing, that are talking shit about this song, they can blow it out their asses. Is it a great song? It's a 3-minute and 20-second Metallica song. What are you expecting Metallica to do in 3 minutes and 20 seconds, all right? It's not, it is meant as a fast, rapid, get out there and have some fun kind of song, man. That's what Lux Eterna is. And all these people were banging on this one, man. I don't get it. I will definitely, Lux Eterna, I really think is going to be getting played years from now. I really do believe Lux Eterna is going to be getting played years from now. I really look forward to seeing it live, man. I cannot wait to hear the audience screaming out, Lux Eterna! It's going to be brilliant. And I really hope they got the laser lights to match it, man. That'll be wicked. So, yeah, anybody who's talking shit about Lux Eterna, they can just shut up. And anybody who's talking shit about the solos as well, Kirk always catches so much crap for his solos. And I don't understand why, because his solos suit the damn songs. One thing I have always loved about Kirk is Kirk plays his solos. Honestly, his solos always feel like they're coming from the heart. Not like they're coming off the cuff. Not like they're coming out of my head over, planning and plotting and all this. Oh, all these little intricacies and blah, 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 blah. No, Kirk goes out there. He listens to the song. He pays attention to the song. And he lets that solo fly. And everybody who wants to bang on him because he's not doing enough fancy shit or not enough technical shit, that is one of the things that, for me, kills a solo. Solo is supposed to come from the heart. It is not supposed to be some type of programmed, let's make it look all fancy and snazzy. I mean, none of the greats play like that. They all play from the heart. Their solos come from the heart. All right, moving on. Crown of Barbed Wire. This is one of the other songs I kind of meh on a little bit. I like it. I don't mind it. I think it'll be a good song live. Just kind of meh while I'm listening to the album. And Chasing Light is the other song I kind of meh on this album. I don't mind Chasing Light. Chasing Light's another one where it really feels like I think that it came out of Saint Anger. I think Crown of Barbed Wire, parts of that felt like it came out of Saint Anger as well. Chasing Light, I didn't mind it. Lyrically, it's kind of cool. It's not bad. It's all right. I don't mind it. After that, we got If Darkness Had a Sun. This is another really good tune, man. I really dug this one. Really got into it. Really like the way it kind of just moves around in general on this song. You know, it's just, I think it's another good cut. Too Far Gone. I'm not. I like Too Far Gone. I definitely enjoy it while the album's playing. And I'll be honest, I'll probably put it into the odd mix here and there. I just don't know what the long term capabilities of the song are overall. Room of Mirrors. Room of Mirrors is really good tune. Like, I really dig it. Too Far Gone and Room of Mirrors, the way the two of them kind of move into each other, it really feels like just one really good long song. You know, both of them put together gets you about 10 minutes. And I think that 10 minutes is a very good, solid 10 minutes altogether. Individually, when you break up the two songs, Room of Mirrors, I think, kind of gets lost a little in the mix on the last side of the albums. Because you got Too Far Gone, you got Room of Mirrors, and then you got Inamorata. I hope I pronounced that right. And Too Far Gone, Room of Mirrors really kind of got this great kind of vibe and flow moving on. But when you get it Inamorata, which is the longest song on this album at 11 minutes and 10 seconds. I love me my Metallica songs, especially the long ones. And this is a good one. And the reason why I say this is so good is at 11 minutes and 10 seconds, it doesn't feel like it. Not even close. Like, the average song on this album has got to be 6 minutes. At least 6 minutes has got to be about the average on this album. And this song feels like it's about 6 minutes. It really doesn't feel like anything else. And I really love that sweet music breakdown in the middle. Oh, so sexy. So sexy and pretty. Oh, I love it. The whole way around, this album, like I said, parts of this album feel like they're kind of cobbled together. Songs that they've had sitting in the background for a while. And sometimes that's a great thing. Letting a song sit in the background and letting it kind of boil. And I didn't mention this as I was going through. If Darkness Had a Sun, that is the song that was Temptation. And really good. It really worked. The way it worked in here. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to say they don't like If Darkness Had a Sun because the way it was structured and organized. I really do. I think it gives it a vibe and a feel that just really works. The whole way around, this album really feels kind of Deep Purple-y to me. It really has a huge Deep Purple kind of vibe to it. More so than their usual kind of... Usually when it comes to Metallica, you usually feel a little more Sabbath-like in it. This definitely feels a lot more Deep Purple-like in there. It really feels like Metallica is kind of branched out a little bit while still trying to remain to their core. Going back to the whole cobbling, though, I think it worked in the case of Darkness Had a Sun. I don't think it works in some of the other ones. That was one of the biggest issues I kind of had with Crown of Barbed Wire is it feels like it's kind of cobbled together. Screaming Suicide kind of feels like it's cobbled together. And I don't think they were quite done as well as they could have been. Maybe they were done just right. I mean, the guys were happy with them, right? And if 4 guys in the band are happy with them, then that's all that really matters. No one is going to be happy all the time. You just can't please everybody. And it's okay not to like some songs, and it's okay to like some songs. And realistically, I mean, I have listened to the hell out of this album over the last few days because, I mean, this is a brand new release, all right? I am literally rushing a recording for this. Like, I am recording this on April the 18th. The video will go online on April the 19th. And I've been recording videos nonstop since then. Well, I've been waiting for this one to come out. And it's only been out since Friday. So I gave myself 5 days to really get into this album. And I'm into this album. I know I'm going to listen to this album years from now. There's a high probability I will listen to this album more than I listen to some of the other more recent ones. I don't know. My views, my thoughts, my opinions. Let me know what you guys think. I've rambled on enough. We've talked about the art. We've talked about the music. I love Metallica. They are in my great itinerary or great list of bands. It's Alice Cooper, then Black Sabbath, then Metallica. I love my Metallica. Only band I have no, that's not true. Yeah. Only band that's come close to I've seen them as many times as Alice, and not even close to as many times as Alice. Anyways, folks, like I said, And Justice for All will be coming up next. I have a whole bunch of Metallica coming your way because I am going to cover everything Metallica before I go see them in November. Let me know what you think. What do you want to hear? What do you want? What should I talk about? All that other lovely stuff. The comment section. What do you think of this album? It's okay if you didn't like the album. I did. If you don't, that's fine. All right. Patreon link. There's a link to Patreon down below on your way down. Like button, subscribe button, little bell for notifications. Peace, love. Take care.